Hey Nelly Addicts, welcome to my channel and welcome if you're new. This nail set was inspired by my trip to Houston, Texas to see my best friend, and we went to the rodeo. Y'all know a few weeks ago I did a Temu haul, and this is the products that I had bought from that haul. I got some Western themed stickers, some little ornaments, and I also had like some cowboy stuff that I got from off of there. I didn't even know they sold cowboy stuff. They had hats, boots, vests. They had everything you could think of, jewelry. All of that was on Temu. So the rodeo takes place in Houston every year. It's a huge event, not just for the Houstonians, but for people all around the world. They had riders that came in from Canada, Finland, and Australia, and that was just some of the countries that I remember that they named. And they're all competing in different categories, and you do win money. And they even showed on the board where some of them have won thousands of dollars already since they started competing this year. This was my first time experiencing the rodeo or anything rodeo related. I live in Florida. There is none of that going on here. So I was very excited to see how this rodeo thing worked. I had such a good time. All the little competitions that they were doing, you could tell that these riders have been practicing really hard. Some of them have been in the game for decades. Literally, they had like a 40-year-old man that had been riding bulls since he was a child. They even had a 64-year-old woman. She rode a horse, and for this competition, the horse has to go around three obstacles, but the horse cannot touch the obstacles, and they also are timing you on how fast you can get your horse around these three obstacles. That 64-year-old lady was good. She outshined some of the 20-year-olds. So you know she had been doing this for a long time. Okay, so I was under the impression the rodeo was the cowboys riding the bull and seeing how long they can stay on the bull. I had no idea that they had all these different competitions and categories. They even have the 4 H club come out where the teenagers that are in the 4 H club, they have their own competition where there's a big square and there's a bunch of cows or bulls, I think that was. They might have been cows or calves, but they let them loose, and the students have to run after them, after the calves and the cows, rope them, wrangle them in, and then bring them back inside of this big chalk outlined square. If y'all would have saw how, oh my God, those animals was not letting those teenagers get them. Those teenagers looked like they were about to pass out from chasing those animals around. It was so funny. They were all red. They was all sweaty. Some of the animals was dragging the teenagers down to the ground. That was so funny to me. But they eventually did get one of the animals. They eventually did get it. But it took them, it seemed like it took them forever to do it. So the bull riding is just one competition. And that was the only one I was thought I was going to be looking at. That was the one I was looking forward to see. And it did not disappoint. You have to stay on the bull for, I think, at least 8 seconds. Some of the cowboys, they didn't even make it past like 2 to 4 seconds, and that bull bounced them right off their back. What I was telling my best friend that I noticed that the cowboys with the most flashiest pants on and boots and hats, those seem to be the ones that was able to stay on the bull for the 8 seconds. The cowboys that just had on like some basic stirrups or some basic like fringe on the sides of their pants, they didn't last very long. I think the flashier that the cowboy dressed, the better they rode the bull. This nail set is kind of like self explanatory. I'm really just decorating some Gel X nails, so I don't need to really do no explaining on it. I'm gonna let y'all watch some of the video and then I'll pop back in later. So, down on the stadium floor, there was a section that had a group of sheep. Well, I guess you would call them a herd of sheep. And they were kind of medium. They wasn't big. They was like kind of small sheep. And I asked my friend, I said, "What are the sheep there for? Are they're like on display, like they just there just hanging hanging out or something? They want to see the rodeo? I don't know." And she said, "You wouldn't believe what they there for even if I told you. You just gotta wait and see." So I'm looking at her like, "What? What does that mean?" And apparently there's a there is a section of the competition called mutton busting. And this is for the kiddies. So the sheep are for the kiddies to ride, and you have to stay on it for however long you can stay on it. And the children had to be, I would say, between the ages of 3 to 6. I don't think I seen any toddler like less than 3 years old. Apparently, this is a fan favorite, and I could see why. The kids, when they put them on there, they have on their helmets, they put them on the back of the sheep, they let the sheep go, and the kids, they either gonna hold on for dear life, or some of the kids didn't even make it out of the gate. The child was on the ground, and I'm not laughing at the child. I'm just saying the child was on the ground before the sheep even got out of the gate. It's cute. It was funny and it was cute. The kids, they not hurt or anything. They have on helmets, they have on protective gear, and they're really good sports about it. I didn't see any of them like crying or anything like that. And that's probably why I'm laughing, because that couldn't be me. You're not putting me on any animal and opening up a gate and telling me to hold on for dear life. Those kids were so brave. But they had one little girl. She rode her sheep all the way to the end of the 8 seconds, or to the end of the strip, because it's like a certain distance that they go. But she held on for dear life and she actually made it to the end. I can see why this was a fan favorite. It certainly became one of my favorite things to watch. All right, Nelly Addicts, this is the set completed. And I like them. They're all over the place. They didn't have like a certain theme or anything. I just wanted something Western and rodeo. So stay tuned to the end, because I've included some clips of the rodeo that I took, and I think y'all are really going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Needs to try and win this round. Can the Cajun get it done? Fellas, this is his best run yet in this Super Series.
And the second job you watch with Godfrey to make sure they are cared for with respect and worth. Why? Because they're a part of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo family as well. And they represent both the legacy and the future of rodeo. What do you say, Texas? Let's give all of our human